Hello, my name is Jimmy Webb. For my final project, I decided to research the Price Tower located in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, my hometown. This skyscraper was designed by the architect Frank Lloyd Wright. He studied architecture at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, was completed in 1956. It is the only skyscraper designed and completed by Wright. This building was commissioned by an oil mogul, Harold Price. He wanted a new headquarters for his company in Bartlesville. He planned for it to be a multi-purpose working and living environment so that people could live in a building that was attached to their house. It is now a designated National Historic Landmark. Frank Lloyd Wright composed this building to resemble a large tree protruding from the Oklahoma prairie. He called it the tree that escaped the crowded forest. The abstract tree can be seen through the colors and placement of the building. He used different values of green and earth tones to emphasize the natural color of trees. When it was being constructed, Wright included copper plating to the building, since over time, copper fades into a beautiful light green. The protrusions on the exterior of the building are meant to interact with the sun rays to produce a dynamic shading on the building that constantly shifts. This adds to the illusion of movement. It was built by combining two innovative techniques, cantilevered floors and a taproot design. This means that the overall structural load of the building is on the center of the building, not supported by the walls or columns on the outside. This building acts like a large tree. The trunk is a series of 4 elevator shafts made from steel and concrete that support the branches or floors. This taproot design allowed Wright to minimize the price since it does not require as many materials to support the building. The exterior is designed with only straight lines and obtuse and acute angles. This gives the building a smooth but rigid texture. At the base of the building there's an art gallery, which gives the trunk an appearance of expanding outwards before rooting itself into the ground. There are various horizontal and vertical protrusions from the building itself, which give it a greater sense of depth, which gives the illusion of being able to look through the branches and into the tree. Wright used the triangle as the geometric basis of the building. He said he chose the triangle because it allows flexibility of arrangement for human movement not afforded by the rectangle. This flexibility can be compared to the flexibility of natural trees. He liked the idea of continuation of the internal and external element, so that even the interior of the building was designed with sharp angles and clean lines. This gives the building an extremely unique atmosphere when inside. Most of the angles are either 30 or 60 degrees, as opposed to the traditional rectangular pattern of the building. There are hardly any square corners. This adds to the structure as a whole. It would not be considered the architectural masterpiece that it is if it did not match the outside. As soon as you walk into the building, you feel as if you are within a work of art instead of just an ordinary building. Frank Lloyd Wright designed this masterpiece to not just be an office space, but an architectural experience that towers above northeast Oklahoma. Although the Price Tower was not complete until 1956, its designs originally came from a set of skyscrapers that Wright designed for New York City in the 1920s. This means that the building could have influences from the late 1800s till when it was completed in the 50s. The two movements that the structure is influenced by most are Cubism and Futurism. Cubism stresses multiple lines, planes, and geometric solids, while the Price Tower from any angle, the first thing that stands out to the viewer is its irregular shape. Futurism, which is related to analytic cubism, is apparent within the building. While commenting on his futuristic sculpture, Bocconi claimed that futurism makes objects live by showing their extensions in space by revealing their environment as part of the object. When Wright designed this building, he wanted it to seem organic. He added protrusions to the exterior of the building in order to fill up space while still giving it the appearance of a tree. He wanted the building to appear as a continuation of the Oklahoman environment. Wright did a fantastic job in combining elements of Cubism and Futurism to produce a structure that utilizes its unique geometric arrangements to fit organically into the prairie. The textbook places an emphasis on Wright's prairie style. Some of the primary aspects of the prairie style are horizontal emphasis, asymmetrical planes, and the integration of the environment and the architecture. The Price Tower is built on asymmetric planes. The exterior is not square, but a series of various planes connected at differing angles. Even the inside is composed of almost entirely of differing planes at odd angles. Wright integrated this building into the environment primarily through the use of colors. He used multiple shades of green and a light tan to give it a natural presence. Frank Lloyd Wright was commissioned to design a home in Bartlesville as well. He named the Price the Harold Price Jr. House, or Hillside. It was completed a few years before the Price Tower in 1954. I was fortunate enough to be able to stay at the house for a day when I was younger. The family that owns the house now, the Linhart Ramseys, are close family friends, and they asked me to stay there and babysit overnight while they were traveling. Growing up in northeast Oklahoma, I did not have many experiences with the fine arts, and I did not appreciate it at the time, but the Price Tower was a large part of my cultural experience in my childhood. I would see it almost every day, but never sat down to analyze the intricacies and details that were put into almost every aspect of the structure. During my childhood, I would see it as only a building with horizontal and vertical lines. Now I understand that these lines play into the building by providing depth, direction, and organic appearance that Wright strived for. I never thought this class would give me a greater appreciation for the world around me, the way it has.